Hey, Abraham here with another episode coming to you from the top of Stone Mountain Park here. Today is a little bit cloudy, but I've got a very important message. Your day is not going to be cloudy. If you listen to this episode here, you're going to learn a very, very important mindset that you must have to be successful in the government market. So what is that mindset? I'm going to talk about what it means to be a generalist versus a specialist. And if you understand this principle here, it can make or break your business in the government market. Stay tuned. I'll see you on the inside of this episode. Hey, welcome back. I am at Stone Mountain Park here. Usually I do mornings, to get my health and wellness on. But today I am doing afternoon. It rained early this morning, good chance of rain. So I brought my umbrella hat. And so regardless, I got to get my health and wellness on. So today's topic, I want to talk about the mindset of a successful government contractor. What is the mindset that you should have as you get into the government market? And what are the successful companies doing? And what is that strategy? So this episode, let's start with that there. The mindset of a successful government contractor. Now, in 2007, when I got to the government market, I decided to study the most successful government contractor out there. And if I understand why they're successful, then I can be successful and other small business can be successful using this right mindset here. So what is this mindset here? This mindset here is about being a generalist and not being a specialist. In the private sector, if you are a specialist, you have greater chance of making more money. In the government sector, if you are a generalist, you have the best chance of winning more government contracts. So what do I mean by being a generalist versus a specialist? Here's what I mean by that. Specialist, let's assume this mindset is very important. Most people, they enter into the government market and they specialize in something. They're a specialist in a niche market. They specialize in a product or a service. Well, the government market doesn't work that way. It's a little bit different from the private sector. If you are a specialist in the government market, you have very limited chances of success. In the government market, by being a generalist, you have the greatest chance of success. So let's talk about some practicals of what that means. First of all, if you're in the government market and you are a plumber, you're thinking, of course, the government needs plumbing services. And so you get into the government market, you say, man, I don't see a lot of plumbing projects out there. Or I see these plumbing projects, it's asking for electrical work, it's asking for carpentry work, it's asking for all these other things. And I don't do all those other things, so I guess I can't bid on it. That is what I mean by being a specialist. You are a plumber and you're entering the government market as a specialist. That's the mistake that a lot of businesses make. They don't understand the right mindset is, regardless of who you are, what you do, whether you're a plumber or not, in the government market, you have to think generalist. Let's take on that example a step further. So what does it mean to be a generalist if you're a plumber? Well, every single building needs plumbing services. So we know there's plumbing work. So as a plumber, of course, there's plumbing work. The DOD itself, they have over 551,000 facilities worldwide. And so, yes, they need plumbing services. But if you're only looking at plumbing services, you might not see that. So how do we do this here? Then we have to follow the flow of money. And what do I mean by the flow of money? You have to look at how money goes from the government to which agency to what type of contractor. So if you are a plumber and you're only looking for plumbing work, you're not going to see a lot of it. Why? Because money flows to a facilities manager, not to a plumber. So the government, they don't want a plumber. They want a facilities management company. They want an asset management company. They want a general contractor. If it's renovation and minor plumbing work, they're going to go to facilities management company. That facilities management company, they hire the carpenter, they hire the plumber, the electrician, they hire the carpet cleaning person. They hire all these different people to do the specific type of work that they need. So if you're a plumber, you say, well, I don't see any plumbing work. Well, that's because the money is going to the asset manager, to the facilities manager, to the property managers, and not to a plumber. So if you understand that, then you need to position your plumbing business to be more of a general contract, to be more of a facilities management company, to be more of an asset management company. If you understand that, that's how you rebrand yourself in the government market. You include other NAICS code besides plumbing work. And then you might be thinking, well, I only do plumbing work. Doesn't matter. Your goal is to win these big contracts and then subcontract the electrical work to an electrical contractor. You manage the contract, you self-perform on the plumbing part, and then you let somebody else sub the other work, and they do the electrical, they do the carpentry, they do the brick masonry, they do all of the other things that you don't have expertise to do, but that's how you win government contracts. So where did that principle come from? Remember I said earlier that when I first started in the government space, I study the most successful company to find out what they're doing. And if I can understand why they are successful, then everybody can do the same thing. So here's what I learned. The most successful government contractor is Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin, on average, they win between $40 to $50 billion every single year. Yes, that's with a B. $40 to $50 billion every single year. Most of the time, we think of Lockheed Martin as a government agency to some degree, but they are a government contractor. They do billions and billions every single year. So I started studying them. I say, if I understand why they're successful, then I can decode government contracting and everyone else can learn from that principle there. So here's what I learned after researching Lockheed Martin. I learned most of the time we think of Lockheed Martin as an aviation aerospace company, but here's what I learned. I learned that Lockheed Martin was doing about $15 billion in IT work itself. Yes, of the $40 to $50 billion, about a third of it was IT work. They were winning about $15, $16, $17 billion in IT work. And then I compare that to IBM. IBM was doing about $2 billion of government work. Yes, $2 billion is a lot of money, but IBM is an IT company. Lockheed Martin is not an IT company. They're an aviation, aerospace, a missile defense type of company. So how is it that Lockheed Martin can do more IT work than IBM? Here's what I mean when I say IBM sees themselves as a specialist. They see themselves as an IT company. Lockheed Martin sees themselves as a generalist. They see themselves as a government contractor, a GC, a government contractor, that if the government has a problem, they can do the solutions to the government. Why? Because when Lockheed Martin started doing work, they realized that, hey, if we're building, and a lot of the airplane requires software engineers. And so if we're already doing software for airplanes, we could do software for other type of applications development that different agencies may have. They understand that, hey, if we're already doing IT work for these aerospace and missile defense and aviation projects, we might as well do traditional IT work for military applications, for office applications, for personnel applications, for all these different services that is needed by the government market. So that's how Lockheed Martin did it. And so Lockheed, if they're doing about $15 billion as a generalist in IT work, and IBM is only doing $2 billion, that is something worth you modeling after. In fact, Lockheed has a logistics division. Lockheed has a construction division. They have an asset management division. You name it, Lockheed has a division that handles government contracting work itself. So understanding that principle, then you modeled it for your own business. How do you do that? The way you model for your own business is this here. You start off with what you're really good at. So let's go back to the plumbing example. The plumber says, okay, I'm going to start off as a plumbing company, but then you want to brand yourself not as Joe's Plumber, but you want to brand yourself as Facilities Solutions, or give it a broader name than just Joe's Plumber Services itself. So you start with that. So first of all, brand it, change your website, change your capability statement, change all your branding to speak to larger. Make yourself look more like a facilities management company. Make yourself look more like a general construction company. So that's the first thing. Once you rebrand yourself like that, then start to find teaming partners that can do the other things that you don't have expertise to do. Look for electricians, look for masonry people, look for carpenter, look for different type of engineers, as well as a general contractor, so that when you find a project, maybe 20% of it is plumbing, you bring in all the other partners to handle the other 80% of it. Now you can go and compete on bigger projects, and you can model yourself and eventually become more of a Lockheed Martin in the government space. So the government market is not about being a specialist, it's about being a generalist. So that is the mindset, the right mindset to be successful in the government market. There you have it. Thanks for joining me for another episode of Contracting Tips. I will see you another episode. If you like this video here, like the tips, like these strategies here, please like and subscribe, and leave some comments in terms of what some other tips and other strategies that you have found to be successful for your own business. All right, signing off. Take care, everybody. See you in another episode.